So we have a question that comes from someone who is wondering whether they should talk to their spouse about being attracted to another person. Let's say they're attracted to
Mm.
somebody else, a coworker perhaps. Should they be talking to their spouse about that attraction? Why or why not?
Yeah. I think sometimes, everybody has thoughts. Everybody can have an attraction, and it might be something that's fleeting. For me, if I have a thought like that, for me, I'm going to God with that. I'm going to pray about it. But sometimes I need to talk to another person. I need to find a mentor that I can share those things with if the feelings continue, right? And so I think you have to look at it, is this something that's just there, but then it's fleeting, or is this something that's sticking? Is there something, ask yourself these questions, why do I feel this way? Why do I not feel about this way about my spouse? What's happening in my marriage? Are we working on our marriage? What are we doing to make our marriage stronger? And then sometimes you need to go to a counselor to get help. But at some point, if those feelings continue, then absolutely it needs to be presented to your spouse um, in the right way. Maybe you need a mediator there. Maybe you need a counselor there to talk through it, depending on the history of your marriage and what
So
you've been through.
So Ashley, what I hear you saying is if we all have fleeting, thoughts that go through our head, and we don't have to
Right.
just disclose that to in the world and certainly to our spouse. That's just fleeting, that's human nature. But you're saying if you're now kind of structuring your day around being with that person, or there's you're actually setting yourself up for some serious temptation outside of your marriage, that's a whole different thing, obviously, and it's consuming your
Yeah.
thoughts, and you're getting dressed in the morning to please them or something. Now you've taken it to a whole new level. That needs to be brought out into the open, not necessarily with your spouse first, right, Clayton? This
Right.
can be something you bring to a confidant, a friend, somebody that a mentor, a coach, before you would go
Exactly.
do that and disclose that.
Yeah, and I think also having some guardrails up. And a guardrail is a mentor. A guardrail is, you said having those thoughts in the morning whenever you're getting dressed, making sure that you discuss that with a mentor, with a counselor, making sure you put some guardrails up around what you're watching on television or maybe even surfing on
Yeah.
the internet. Things like that that can really make a huge difference in your thought life, what you're walking through in your personal life as well as in your marriage will make a huge impact.
And then you come back to Ashley, what is the most profound question you raised, and that is why? Why am I attracted? Because that's where
Mhm.
you really begin to get some self insight. And we're not all hardwired to process that on our own. We need some help to do that. Some of us are more introspective than others, and so you really have to weigh that. But what I hear you guys saying is pay attention to the difference between a fleeting thought versus something you're
Yeah.
kind of obsessing about. And if you do get to that place where you're obsessing, get some help and then bring your spouse into that if you're getting that kind of guidance to talk it through together. So helpful.
Absolutely.
You guys,
Absolutely.
thanks so much for your wisdom.